welcome back, everyone, to the Monmouth Moms podcast. We are on this beautiful, still summer. It's still summer.
It is.
Day on we had back to school this morning, so it was just telling.
We're holding out.
Carrie over here, I'm so excited to introduce our guest, Keri Campbell, co-owner of Delicious Orchards, our very well-known family-owned business right here in Monmouth County, an iconic institution. It's unbelievable. I'm so excited.
Very gracious of you.
And we were just chatting about our mornings and back to school, and I'll share that if you have a rough time going back to school and getting back into routine, my daughter was getting her backpack on this morning, and she has a tendency to kind of just like be a little bit too close, which we're working on, and all the things, and put her arm out, and I had my coffee, which never has a freaking lid on it, and it flew all over the wall, the floors, literally everything, like 2 seconds before we were supposed to get in the car. So that was our back to school morning. But
never boring.
But I actually just said, okay, that's okay. Just cleaned it up. Because what am I going to do? Start yelling?
You can't yell on the first day.
Can't yell on the first
That's like way more second week, not first
way more.
week.
Yeah, that's very true. So anyway, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, where did you grow up?
Actually, grew up in Little Silver.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And all through there, went to RBR, Red Bank Regional for high school.
Okay.
Loved it. And then, we've been there for forever. And then went to, I started at University of Vermont, and I am a Monmouth County girl. I was way too homesick. I'm the oldest of four. I'm the oldest of us, and I think I just missed home so much. It took me a long time to just accept that.
Did you, you were born here?
Yes.
Like born in Riverview, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Monmouth.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. So I'm a Monmouth.
It's hard, when you're here, to ever want to live anywhere else.
I can't imagine living anywhere
right?
else. Yes.
I don't know what it is. My husband always jokes that, I won't ever, I won't name the street my parents live on, but I won't ever go, within a certain, radius of that street. And I'm like, well, it's, yes, I want to be close to my parents, but also, why?
Why would I live anywhere else?
And obviously everyone is catching on now because real estate is insane.
I know. I used to say to everybody, I'm like, please don't tell anybody how great New Jersey is in Monmouth County because we have enough people. And yes, now it's catching on.
It's a little
It
crazy.
is catching on.
Yeah.
But it's great. And I do have a very small radius.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
You can go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
You can go hiking. You could
go to the city.
You can go to the city.
Yep.
You can ski. You can go anything you want to do, you can do.
Yeah.
Which I love that, especially with having kids. You can do all the adventures you can do in one day. You could horseback ride and go to the beach. It's pretty great.
It is great.
You could hike in a place that you feel like you're in New England. You could, I don't know. It's just really great.
I'm a big runner, and, well, not a big runner. I like to run a lot, but I'm not a ultra marathon runner. Okay. So, I'm like a regular, I don't even know how to describe it, right? But my aunt is 68, I think, and she runs multiple marathons a year for years.
Oh my gosh,
it's just extreme dedication. And
I'm never gonna be, but I want to be.
Yeah. So I've done one. I like to do a half a year. That's where I limit myself. The marathon training itself. When I was doing it, I did New York. Was 7 years ago, and it's a huge commitment because you have to spend at least one weekend day just running all these miles, right? And your knees, my knees were always sore. I'm not in that world. So anyway, but I always say that I wish there were more races here. That's one thing that we don't have a lot of. And when I visit my aunt pretty frequently, so she has a lake house in Michigan, so we were there this summer, and there's a race for a race. There's races, they do these 24-hour races where people walk around and I was they don't sleep. They're well, you can sleep for a little bit and then you get up and you just run a little bit more. I'm like, what? Okay. Anyway,
those are things that I want to be, and I'm just never going to be that person. Like I really.
So she's also, her main house is in Ohio, so there's just like a lot of races there.
Gosh,
and we were joking that like I was like, I wonder why like there's nothing like that here. We have a few. We have like 5Ks.
Yeah.
We have like one marathon. A lot of them don't exist as much as they used to. Like there used to be more.
Like there's more halves around here.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's just like a lot more to do here. You know what I mean? Not a knock on Ohio, but
like, listen, we can knock on it. This is,
you know, but there's just a lot to do, and I think that like is probably part of it. It's just like people like, you know, they, like you said, they can go skiing, they can go, you know, there's a lot more options.
There are a lot more.
So do your parents still live in Little Silver?
They do.
Okay.
They do. And actually, so like I said, I'm one of 4. We're in Shrewsbury now.
Okay.
I settled in Shrewsbury, and all of us live in the area too.
Wow.
So it's really great. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Love that.
So tell me, share the story about Delicious Orchards. Who originally owned it?
So it was originally owned by like the Barkley family,
okay.
Who were, we were very, very close to. Like, you know, we called Mr. B Grandpa Skip. Like my kids called him Grandpa Skip. He just passed away a few years ago.
And when did it open?
In the early 1911. So,
wow.
But it started out as where Eastmont is, where the U-Pick is.
Okay.
That was the original site of Delicious Orchards, and that's actually where we do our mail order, which is and pressing of cider and all that kind of stuff is down at the original site of.
That's not by Laird's. That's by Eastmont.
Yes, right by. Yes.
Okay,
yep.
got it.
You'll see it says processing. That's where the original store was.
So that was owned by the Barkley family back then?
Yes, back then. So it's actually really cool. When you drive by the house, there's this blue house right by where, like, it goes Laird's, and then the blue house, and then the processing, and then you see, like, the Eastmont, like, sign.
So were they friends with the Laird family, too?
Yes, they've all, like, grown.
Yeah, because I've met her, too.
Old.
Yeah,
you know,
so cool.
It's old school.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So much family history. But Grandpa Skip was born in that house and lived in that house and died in that house, which I just think is a really beautiful story.
Yeah.
That is, it's a really beautiful story. And
I love that.
He was a wonderful, wonderful man that meant a lot to our family.
So, but 1911, so he started it?
Yes,
okay.
Him and his wife. It's really cool. So they were wholesaling apples and realized that you needed to, from the orchard, where Eastmont is, the U-Pick, but they were wholesaling it, and we're like, well, we want to make some more money and do some other things. And so they started in his living room, converted the living room into a kitchen, and it's her original pie recipe, so it's Mrs. B's pie recipe we still use today. Nothing has changed. And same thing with the apple cider donuts. They started doing that in their kitchen.
Wow.
And then just started selling them like in a roadside stand to support the wholesale business.
Okay.
So, and then in the, later on, they decided to grow the retail store, and so that's when they moved up to where the store is now.
Okay.
In the 60s, and so which is really fun. So then at the time,
was it as big, or was it like a smaller?
It was smaller, but still significant.
So, okay.
Yeah. They really expanded at that point.
Okay.
And put it all in there, Yep. And at the time, my mom lived across the street. And she always used to play in the apple orchards. And I love that she was like, when they saw the store going in, she was like, oh no, where am I going to play now? Little to know that this would be her whole life. And where she ended up, meeting my dad and creating a whole
That's incredible.
life. Yeah,
wow. So
great.
she witnessed it being built and everything.
Yep.
That's so cool.
So it's really fun.
Wow.
It's really fun. It's magical.
So she was how old when she started working there?
15.
Okay.
So she was 15. My dad was 17. So my dad's been there for, 50 years. And they started dating at, since they were 15 and 17 and got married really early and started a family, and it's great. Like, the rest is history.
Yeah.
I'm so mad I forgot. I wanted to bring you this picture. We have this picture of them early on. My mom was probably 15, and underneath one of the apple trees that's still there at the store. And she's got, they're so cute. She's got her Converse on, and Grandpa Skip used to joke that it was the only time my dad would be late coming back from break was because he'd be on break with my mom, and it's just really great.
Oh.
So yeah.
So your dad kind of like, I guess, worked his way up and became a manager, and then
he did. Yep.
And just really enjoyed working there.
He did, and had other partners at the time. So they ended up buying out the Barkley family.
Okay.
Had other partners at the time. So my whole life, I remember I came home one day, and somebody was like, "Oh," I said to my dad, my mom, I was like, "Wait, did we like somebody at school told me like we own Delicious Orchards? Is that true?" My mom's like, "Well, yeah, but really all that means is that you work the hardest." And I was like, and so that's really like our philosophy is that, I mean, it may be your family's business, but that means you are, you work the hardest.
There's a lot more that goes into it than just, like, oh, we have a business.
Yes.
Like, you have to, it's a daily grind.
It is. It is a daily grind.
Right.
It is. But yeah, so it's really, so they've been there. My mom, is a nurse by trade.
Oh.
And so she was in nursing for like all of our growing up. And then my dad was at the store.
Wow.
And then we all started working there when that was always our, summer jobs. Never expected. My parents just did such a great job, and it was never expected. Or it was never, it was really organic that we all worked there.
Yep.
We weren't ever forced to work there. It was never a, you must do
Get
this.
online.
Yes, it wasn't,
Right.
Except during Thanksgiving. My brother tells this great story. He was studying abroad. Well, I know we'll backtrack, but we all went to college, and he was studying abroad, and he came home from studying abroad. He was studying abroad in Australia. And he came home and he surprised my parents because he wasn't supposed to be home for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And he had my other brother go pick him up at the airport. That was before Ubers. And didn't, snuck into the house, surprised my dad. It's the night before, and my dad's response was, "Oh, thank God you can work tomorrow." So that's
sometimes you're
just like, "Oh,
I
thank
get it."
Goodness. So, but that's what we all did during high school,
right?
Here and there, and all
so you're one
other
of
stuff.
4.
One of 4.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have a sister and 2 brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And so the face that we always see on the Delicious Orchards Instagram is your brother Mike.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And he's the second to youngest.
Yes, he's 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So that's
and he was always that guy. I mean, he's always.
I mean, you can see it. He's just
really fun.
Great. Yeah, he's a great personality.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. But he's really that way in life. Like he's just great.
Oh, I love that. So I remember. I guess when Humans of New York first kind of like emerged, I guess like that was very like early Instagram, where you're like the fascinating stories, like real
fascinating, like
that. I don't follow it as much as I used to, but they're still doing the same thing, right? Okay. And so how did that happen? How did he reach out to them, or
he did?
Okay.
And it really came at such a time where I feel like the world just needed a good story.
A feel-good story.
Was like a feel-good story.
It was like 2017, right?
It was
2015.
No, it was 2020.
Oh, 2020. Okay, I knew it was
2020. Gosh, see, like time. This is what happens when you get older. Like time is just so confusing.
Yeah,
I can't remember anything. But no, because it was after.
It was after COVID. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so I
feel like it was a long time ago, but
January, I think it was 2021.
So I read that story, and it was just like it just brings tears to your eyes because it's just not something that you read every day. Like your story, your family just is so incredible and so humble, and so just really all about like helping, bringing the community something that is wholesome and something that is good. And we were just all chatting before we started the podcast because it's more than just a grocery store. And I love food. I'm a huge I guess we just say hospitality enthusiast.
Yes.
Everyone knows if you listen to this podcast that I used to sell wine and I worked in restaurants, and for a long time that's kind of what I thought I wanted to do, like run a restaurant. Now not so much, just because it's it's every day, right? You're there every day. But I loved it. And I think the thing I loved most always about hospitality is that everyone has to eat, right?
Yeah.
So you get the opportunity to hear people's stories, and you get the opportunity to share in part of their day, right?
Totally.
And making their day better, and making their day a good experience, right? When someone goes out to eat, or they're shopping, at a I don't want to say gourmet grocery store, but like it's an experience, right, so to speak. And it's something that like I think delights the public, and it's just, I think it's like a cool thing to be part of, because
it doesn't get old. Like I have been doing Thanksgivings, I've been there 30 years now, and it still gets me choked up every year, that the amount of like tables that like we are so honored to be a part of for like people's traditions and holidays, like that it gets me every year. It is so it never, because we're so honored that we would be included in so many traditions, or so many people's family stories, or oh my gosh, I always came here with my grandmother, or we just recently had a customer like that was a longtime customer, and he passed away, and the daughter came in and with a card to the women in the department that I work in, just like, thank you so much for always making, this was such a part of our family story, and he loved coming here so much. And it's such an honor that I feel like the community is so kind to us for how much we just really, it's really great.
It is.
It's
so
really
great.
And it's real. Like it's, I think the authenticity, like, I mean, my dad's been there, my parents 50 years. There's so many employees that have been there 40 years, 30 years. I mean, we've been doing this for 20. It's just that part of it is so special too. Like even how long people stay, how many multiple family members work there. It's really fun.
That is so great. So, well, I'm so curious about how you all kind of ended up coming back. But
I still don't even know how it all happened, but here we are.
Okay. But yeah, it's great. And, I love shopping there. I shared that, we moved earlier this summer, so I'm just trying to figure out how, I'm not as close as I used to be. So I'm like, how am I going to, intertwine this into my daily or my weekly routine? But it's funny that you say that about the Thanksgiving. Like, we can't have Thanksgiving without my husband is obsessed with the brownies with walnuts.
Oh, me too. Without. I love them with walnuts.
So we have to have those all, like, for every holiday, and I usually just grab them. Like, we're like, two of them for just to have around the house or whatever. He loves those. I love the cream puffs. I'm like a true Irish. Like, I love
fresh
those.
Whipped cream.
It's so good.
It's like it's nothing like
so
it.
Good. The bakery's great.
So good.
It is.
Oh, it is.
It's so good.
Well, it's because everything's made there. And, have you ever been in the back? Have you?
No, but
oh god, you have to come and
we're
get
gonna
a tour.
Come in.
You have to.
We're gonna do all kinds of stuff this fall. So yeah.
When you see it's still like old school. The pie line, everything is hand filled and hand crimped and hand. It's really cool.
It's so cool.
It's really fun.
I'm excited. We're gonna share it with everyone. So tell me. So you went to school.
I did, and then I ended up at Rutgers.
Okay.
I loved it there. Graduated from there, and then being at the store was never my plan.
Okay.
It was kind of like, I didn't know really what I wanted to do. I was a history major, American studies, had zero skill, but loved every one of my classes. And so it was never really the plan for me to be there. But after college, I was, while figuring out what I wanted to do, was working there.
Okay.
My dad's like, hey, we have a need here. Can you this would be great for both of us. You know what I mean? You work here and all that kind of stuff in one of the departments, in the gift basket department, and started doing that. And then it kind of just organically became, this was a great fit. And I joke that I'm like, I guess I am here now. I guess this is my career. Like, it kind of, in a great way, was never this definitive decision. It just kind of organically happened. And I feel like that, for me personally, was the best way it could have. I think if I would have known this is what I'm doing, it wouldn't have felt as great.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it was really great. So then that's how I started. And then my brothers, they both went to Northeastern. One's an engineer by trade, one was like a criminal justice. And then they came back and decided that this is what they wanted to do. And my sister went up to Centenary, played soccer there, and then she decided, okay, we all came back. My dad's partners were retiring or that kind of stuff. And we said, all right, I guess we're gonna give this a go.
Wow.
And that's it. It's really we figured we'd give this a go.
So, I mean, obviously you've grown, right, over the years and continue to grow. But I think too, like, maybe without knowing it or not knowing it, maybe just being there and knowing, like, as businesses evolve and our environment, our community evolves and have different wants and demands and different things, like you could meet those needs
totally,
like, based on like what is evolving and what's changing and what just food is just changed and stuff over the years. So that's probably been part of it too, right?
Absolutely.
Where you were able to like adapt to that.
Yes, and I think it's really cool because the four of us are so different.
Yeah.
And it's a big enough store that we can all have independence, but small enough that you get to be part of everything. Mm-hmm. And we actually really like each other. Oh. So it's like really nice. Like I am so grateful to get to work with my siblings every day and my parents. And it really works for us. And there isn't this, my husband always jokes, he's like, it's crazy, like how much we hang out together all the time outside of work too. Oh. But our dynamics outside of work are really different than our dynamics inside of work. Okay. And it's actually really great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
So everyone has bad days, but like, do you ever like get into like, is like where, something's happening with a customer or whatever, like how do you manage like all of that where like you're just having rough?
I feel like, okay, so we've done this for so long now that I feel like we're all really seasoned. Okay. I think what would have ruffled our feathers earlier on, or you're trying to figure this out, my dad did a really, really great job always growing up, that he never brought work home. Okay. And we have this really interesting dynamic that we don't really talk about work outside of work. Mm-hmm. And not in a... It almost just doesn't happen, not because it's a rule. Mm-hmm. We're really able to separate it. And I think as much as, as much as it's our identity, it's also not, in a really healthy way. Yeah. That we're able to love it and appreciate it and feel so honored to be part of it. Mm-hmm. But we're also able to really have a different family dynamic outside of work. And my parents, I think about this now that I have 4 kids that are getting older, and these last 2 summers have been really special for me because all 4 kids worked at the store. And I know that won't be forever, but it was just a really special season for me as a mom, that to get to share it with them and share kind of those war stories and all the things. It's just really been fun. But my parents, I think, really did such a great job of having a healthy relationship with work. Yeah. That I think that's why we all love being there. Yeah. Because we've tried to continue that.
Well, they set the table, and also, people, I think, in this industry, right? It's tough, right? You are. I always say, like, whenever I worked in good restaurants, like some of the best managers that I had over the years that like were really just great mentors to me, and even if it wasn't like the best scenario or the best staff or whatever, they would always, like, a few of them would say, like, you're only as good as your last night, right? And you have a good day, and it's like, okay, you go back in and you got to kind of do the whole thing over. But the best experiences that I ever had were like with these dynamic teams where it was like a well-oiled machine. And, and it's funny that you even mentioned that, because I can completely see it. Like, you've been through, like I used to bartend at an Irish bar, right? Like St. Patrick's Day it was hell on earth.
Yep.
Like,
yep. Sure.
Yeah. But like, we just, after you do it, like, 5 years or whatever, you're just like, all right, like you just kind of get
and
through
you kind of become addicted to the energy.
Totally.
We were saying that like fall is like our go-to time. Right. So from now till, Christmas, it's like all on. Yep. And we were saying about it with all the employees, and we call like Thanksgiving is your rite of passage. Like, you really aren't part of the team until you've done a Thanksgiving. Yeah. 50,000 pies that week, kind of thing, in that 1 week. But you become addicted to the energy, and it becomes really, you can't help it. Also, I mean, I feel you can relate to this. Mm-hmm. we have a really good work ethic, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I want my kid. I feel like if you have a good work ethic,
Totally, and a good attitude. Yeah.
you will land
Yeah.
where you're supposed to land. And
Right.
That's what I feel like for my kids, right?
Yeah.
If you know how to work hard, if you know how to, I would never ask anybody to do something they haven't seen me do. We're so hands-on.
true.
We're so part of every day that you really end up having a team that you're doing it with, which is really fun.
And so another thing that was in the Humans of New York piece was that you've had very little turnover over the years. Most of your management and your team have been there for many years, which is says so much about who you are, which is incredible. So tell me, so you're working there in your 20s, and then how did you meet your husband?
Okay, so we are a blended family. So my first husband, we were married, went to school together, and then had the 2 boys, and then later on in life, I met my second husband. He has 2 girls, but we've been blended so long that I feel like
I see. Okay.
half the time, it was my favorite when they were little. When we'd be on vacation, everybody would always think William and Kate were the twins, but it's really the girls that were the twins. And I always love that.
Oh, that's so cute. They all look similar.
They all do look similar.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's just really fun. So they are all, let's see, how old is everybody now? My oldest is 19, and then the girls are, they'll be 17 next month. They cannot wait to get their license. And they're going to be seniors, and then my youngest is going to be a sophomore. He's 15.
Okay.
So it's going really fast.
And you're still in Monmouth County?
Still in Monmouth County.
Yep.
We live in Shrewsbury.
Yep.
And it's really great because my one brother just moved, and now he's 4 houses away.
Okay.
So as my kids are getting older, his 3 younger boys at least are filling all those needs of coming by on their bikes and stealing some snacks, and it's great. Yes, it's really.
I know.
Chalking the walk, I can get to go chalk the walk for them.
So tell me, I love learning about women that are in business and are also moms, because I think it's a really challenging thing to accomplish.
It is.
And we've hosted summits in the past about just trying to help moms kind of find better resources for women to have access to in terms of childcare and just support, right? Just even talking about how freaking hard it is. And
yes.
I tell my kids all the time, kind of a little bit of a reminder of how their lives are versus how did we get here, right? And when my son was little, and I never been shy to share that I had him in college, and it was hard, and I got divorced really young, and I was working full time, and the only daycare I could afford, it was $500 a month.
Yep.
And it just it was this little Catholic school, and it was fine, but I knew I just hated having to leave him there, but I didn't really have any other choice at the time. And then it was fine, and he cried all the time going there. So he only went there for a few months, and then I was all right, I got to figure something else out. And I did, and then you get him into another place, and just the guilt of all of it. And then
hard.
And then
it's
fast
so
forward,
hard.
when I had my daughter and I was 30 and I was much better situated and better job and everything, and she went to a nicer school, and you still have that same guilt, right?
It doesn't.
And I thought it was just because of me being young, and I'm it's just because no, it's not. It's just freaking hard. It's hard. It's hard being a stay-at-home mom. It's hard. But it's especially hard when you're just juggling the demands.
Oh my gosh,
the schedule.
And you don't feel like you feel like when you're at work, you're thinking about home. When you're at home, you're thinking about work. It's that mental balance and.
So I say all
juggling.
the time, there are people that are built, I think, to have multiple children. I had my kids 9 years apart. I have my stepdaughter, who's a few years younger than my son, but she mostly lived with her mom up until she moved in with us in high school. So I never had 3 kids under 3, right?
Yep.
And I knew how I am, and I don't think, I'm sure I could have done it, but it really, really freaked me out to have to be able to care for that many. So you had 4 kids.
Yes.
And you were working full time.
I could not do, it takes a village.
Yeah.
And so my mom is a saint. And I always say to my kids now, I'm like, if you live near me when you have kids, I will pay it forward and I will be Nana to you. Because, I mean, we couldn't have done it without all the support that we have. I mean, the helping to drive, the pickup. I mean, right now, she's currently taking my son to a haircut.
Right. Because school's starting, right?
Yeah. School's starting, and he schedules his own haircut, and he's, So sometimes he'll even just call her for the ride. He knows that, like, I can't, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Even our community, that I couldn't do it without all of my friends in the community helping. I feel like women are just, the help was so grateful. And there was a season where we didn't have a bus for the basketball games, and this one mom who was like, drove to every single away game. And I'm like, I don't know how to thank you. I feel so bad. She's like, I can. So I am. So you don't have to feel bad.
Yeah.
If I couldn't, we would figure it out. But just let me do this because I can.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you. And so I think that's how I couldn't imagine for us if we lived somewhere that I didn't have a support system all those years ago. Like,
when people move and they have no family
I don't know how you do it mentally, because I still felt guilty. I still felt guilty not being there, or that it wasn't me. Or, I mean, how many times has my mom, it was a really busy weekend and she took them to the doctors because they were sick, and she was like, I got it.
Yeah.
Like, let it go.
Yes.
She's like, my husband always jokes, you want to be a stay-at-home mom that works full-time. And so I've been really hard on myself through the years. Yeah. Because I just want to be everything. At one point, my friends recently had, like, an intervention. I'm not kidding, because I'd be like, I have to cook everything. I have to make everything. I have to be in the, you own a food store. Like, what are you doing?
Fridge.
Like, why are you trying to make a holiday, like, yams? Nobody cares if it's your yams or D.O. yams. Like,
no one's going to care.
Nobody's going to care. So I really have had to have, like, interventions where I'm like, okay, so now I highly recommend buying Dio's chicken cutlets.
Okay.
Because I have stopped making cutlets I'm like,
the whole cutlet thing. I mean, everyone loves the cutlets. The making of the cutlets is a pain in the ass.
And it's not hard,
it's not hard,
it's a lot of work, and it's
messy,
and it's just, like, it takes all day.
And then even chicken parm, it's like then that extra step. Somehow the whole kitchen's a disaster.
Disaster.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what am I
Why
doing?
am I doing? I know.
I mean, it's the same Bell and Evans cutlets. Why am I making them myself when I could just buy them?
I know.
So it's not like I'm skimping on quality, right? That's all it's just the guilt. It's just the guilt.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
So these are the things that I've really tried to do better.
That's so funny.
Because I can't be all the things.
No.
I say that I'm going to be the grandmother that's the class mom. Like, because then I'm like, I can't be the class mom. I would say I can't run the committee, but, like, give me a job.
Yeah, I'm that way. And I am going to try to be better this year. My daughter started a new school last year, and, like, she was in another school for 4 years prior. And both schools are very, like, community driven. And the first one, I think because, like, when they start in kindergarten, you just know more, you're just more ingrained, right? And then she started, like, in 4th grade, and it was just kind of, like, she had a great year, but I think I kind of did not, because I was so entrenched in these, like, events and everything, and it's just a lot, and we'll talk about this another time, but the events are hard. And like, I remember one night, like, she's in theater, so she was in 2 plays, like, within 2 weeks, and she had, what did they have at Tech Week?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So they had 2 tech weeks, and I had 2 summits that I was doing, one in Connecticut and one here at Bell Works. And, like, I wasn't running the show entirely in Connecticut. My partner was, but, like, still, like, obviously I had to be present.
Yep.
And then on the heels of that, I think not even 2 weeks later was the one in New Jersey. And she had 2 tech weeks where she had to be, like, picked up every day at 8 o'clock with the costume, with this, with that, whatever. And I remember standing the night before the summit in the rain, freezing rain, outside her school. And I'm like, these moms probably just think I'm, like, insane. Like, I have not said, like anything,
I know.
And because I've not signed up for anything to help with Tech Week, I just felt like such a piece of crap. But
no, but you have to let that go, because the
know,
truth is like, everything has a season, and that's what I've learned.
Yes.
Because I can't be all things to everybody.
Yeah.
And the only thing, I never want to look back and regret that I was doing more things outside my home.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be present and I want to be as many things as I can be, like, with the kids.
Yep.
And I'm like, this just isn't a season for committees. Like, I'm never going to be able to sign up in ways that I want to sign up, but I can.
It's true.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Because I don't want to regret not being home with them.
Yes, I
like, as much as I can.
1000% agree.
I'm like, I've just let it go.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of erring on that too, because like just all the, she doesn't want to do all the things as much anymore, and she's in things, but she's not like in anything competitive. So we're not just like on that grind like all the time.
Yep.
And I feel like that's okay.
It is okay, and
like,
they're all different. All 4 of my kids all do really different things.
Yeah.
And are really different.
Yeah.
But it really, I think, has helped us be better parents, because they all need different things.
Yeah.
And are all into different things, and that also changes. Like, it's...
Yeah.
It just is...
And maybe...
Just flow with it.
Yeah, the next year, like, you're, maybe you'll have more time to be able to commit to something that they, like, then will, be all in on,
yes.
right? So...
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is, it's very true. But I think the moral of the story is that we just need to cut ourselves a break.
We really do. We have to be kinder to ourselves. And I always say, just because there's a need doesn't mean I have to fill it. Like,
yes.
And it doesn't mean it's forever. I mean, there are things that I used to love to do, that I'm like, it's just not now. It's not forever.
Yes.
It's just not now, because I don't want to, I look at how fast this has gone. If I can say anything to moms who have younger kids is, like, be kind to yourself, because it goes so fast. Like, the guilt that I used to, the Christmas parties aren't forever.
Yeah.
Like, just be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
The holiday things, all the activities at school, the Halloween costumes, the parades, they're not forever. They go so fast, and before you know it, there's a lot more time that they're not there.
Yeah.
And the insight of, like, you think it's so overwhelming at the beginning, because you think, how am I ever going to do this? But it goes a lot quicker than you realize. So I am so glad I had a lot of older women at work that were really able, and my mom, that were just really able to be the perspective where you're in the grind, and they're like, but trust me, just be present. And I feel like I have I feel like I was always really present and appreciative of all
of being
the moments
of the
that
opportunity to be able to be there and make both work, right? And
sometimes not well, right? Sometimes balls drop there,
right?
Sometimes the house wasn't clean, all of that things. But I think I'm really glad that I was able to. I think working allowed me to be able to really appreciate the time that I had.
Yeah, that gratitude.
Yes.
I know, it does. It goes a long way. I think the older I get, the more I just feel like so grateful, right?
Yes.
That like things have evolved. And yes, like
is life
hard? Yeah, it's still hard for different ways, right? Like not, I wouldn't say hard, challenging.
Yeah.
Challenging, right? Where like, you just face certain challenges that you definitely couldn't have faced 5 years ago.
No.
But I think, like that gratitude does go a long way, and that, it is fleeting. And I think, everything is, an experience that you have to learn from. And, having my son so young, like he, taught me so much that, obviously, like I, wouldn't have known about parenthood. And, he says things now, and sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, like I wish I could go back and do, whatever. But like he says the most wonderful things about, how, I raised him, and, his things, in his childhood. And it's just so fascinating how sometimes I'm like, I just cannot believe that he's 21 years old.
Right.
Like it's bizarre.
Like you actually can't. But like I can't.
And I actually hate being that parent 19. Where I'm like, just like enjoy it. I say that to my assistant sometimes. I'm like, it goes fast or whatever. And like even my sister, she has a 3-year-old, and like she just has one right now, and she's like just gets frustrated she's home, and it's like a long day, and I'm like, yeah, but like then they won't, like then they'll be in kindergarten or whatever.
Yes, no, but it goes so fast, and it does. You sound so silly.
It's like a know-it-all, but it's true.
But it's really true.
Yeah.
It's really true, and I feel it's just you try so hard and you care so much, and you just I think that's the best thing to do, right? Yeah. So when you drop the balls or you mess up or you make these mistakes, like I just, all I want is my kids to know how much I care and how much I tried. And I think it matters when you just, like, I really like being with them.
Aww.
I feel like my parents always just really liked being with us. I'm like, I'll have years, I say to my friends, I'm like, certain things don't fill my bucket. A girls trip or this or that. I'm like, okay, it's not forever. It's just not now, because right now
I agree 1,000%.
I'm like, it's not if that fills your bucket, that's totally great.
Fine.
Like
Yep. Yeah.
But for me, that's actually more stressful.
Same, because it's like, how am I going to get away?
Yes, and it's like
Who's
the
watching the
juggling. Yeah, literally, the logistics alone are so stressful
I know.
that it takes whatever relaxation that would happen out.
And then I'd be the whole time, like, when I go to get back, like, all of my to-do lists, I'm just that way.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not forever.
Yeah.
It's just not now. And it's like having friends that also are in that phase. I'm like, all right, I'll see you in 10 years, but I love you. And and having those friendships and relationships that you can pick up where you left off. There's never any judgment, or why didn't you call me, or there's none. Just loving each other where you're at and picking up and laughing about
all of the things.
Yeah.
I have two good friends from one of my best friends from high school that we all live in the same area, and we don't see each other a lot. I would say it's probably embarrassing. I think we maybe see each other 4 or 5 times a year.
That's
it seems
good.
Like more.
That's a lot
because we like group texts and stuff.
Yes,
that
helps
and social
a lot.
media. Kind of know where each other
Yes.
are, but we don't we try over the weekend. We all tried. What are you guys doing tomorrow? Stuff. I'm a last minute Sally. I'm always like, so what are you guys doing in an hour from now?
Totally. But you need friends like that, though, that are like, and there's no judgment. We have, actually, so it's really funny. My one brother married my best friend my whole life. Yeah, so it's really fun.
That's so nice.
It's really, really fun.
Like a built-in friend in your family
really,
for Thanksgiving.
really fun. It is really fun. But we have a chat with 2 other friends that we grew up with, and we try to get together every dinner, but there's never any judgment if somebody, like, there's so many times that I couldn't show up, or a basketball game got rescheduled, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't come anymore, I'm going to the basketball game, or this, and like, no judgment, no guilt, and I'm like, that's just what I feel like we all need, is just friends that are just, this is the plan. If it doesn't work, we'll see you next time.
I know, I agree, because I love being, obviously I love being with my son, but he's, just young and doing his thing and with his friends and stuff like that. So I don't get to see him as much as, obviously when he was living with us. But my daughter, I would just, we went out to eat the other night, just me and her, which is, it's kind of now, that's a newer evolution where, you can.
Because how old is she?
She's 10.
Yes, that's fun.
It's
it's new.
she's not as little, which is sad, but also nice because you can have a conversation. We did the whole time we did a trivia game at dinner, and we were just
so fun.
It's fun, and so and I rarely, I go out with my one friend is always asking me to go to places, and I'm like, okay, I will, but I just don't like to leave her.
No. And
then I'm like, can I bring her to girls' night? No, okay.
I'm with you.
So I'm with you. We're always together doing stuff, and I know that won't always be the case. So,
yes, that is, and I feel like that's the best place to be. And so this summer we all went on a beach vacation. We always try to do adventures. We like to do experiences versus gifts and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like you're just building those core memories.
Yeah.
And we went to Curacao, which we had never done, and they were like, can we do a beach vacation, which we haven't done, because usually we're doing more active stuff,
like Disney or something.
Yeah, something like active, Grand Canyon, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay,
anyway,
gotcha.
so but they the girls were like, please, can we do a beach vacation? I was like, yes, that sounds great. Yes, I was like, that sounds great. So here we went. My husband, I'm like, they are such good company. We're at this phase where I'm like, that was so fun. And it was just fun to, it sounds crazy to go to a beach when we live at the beach, but I feel like we're in this phase of life where sometimes I need to be removed from it. So even though it was silly to leave our beach to go to a beach, it was just really great to get away and kind of unplug together. Mm-hmm. And they're just such good company now that it's a really fun phase of life, even though I'll always miss their, cute little hands and sitting on my lap and, all those things. I'll always miss that, but it is a really fun phase of life.
That's nice.
That they're just great to be with and funny, and people. They're people.
Okay.
They're really fun people.
There's been this narrative also in the media that I've noticed about, I think one of the nice things about social media can be awful, but also, great. And I think one of the things that are great is that you get to hear from, I think, women from different generations now, right? Like that are on social media and are sharing more that like you didn't, like you had, like you mentioned, like the women that you know, worked with and stuff like that, but not all women have that where like they get that perspective. So I think that it's nice to hear from like, you know, just different just pillars in our community, but also just like celebrities or authors or whoever that you follow, and we'll share like, you know, I didn't have that experience about my teen daughter being like a disaster, you know, and that's like, it's like that stereotype, but but it's true, and I don't really think my daughter will be like that. Let's knock on wood. But like I really don't, you know, and I think that's so nice that like you're also sharing that like they're people, you know, and you really enjoy being fun. With them. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It is really fun.
That is nice. So tell me, Delicious Orchards. So you, over the last, you know, decade, it's just become, you know, I think even bigger, right, in our community. And you ship gift baskets and pies.
We do.
Outside of the holidays, like.
Oh my God, yes. So that's, I feel like that's actually the hidden, one of like a.
So I knew that
a
because
hidden
of
secret,
mom,
you know.
But tell me, like,
we've been doing stuff with you forever.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's a great go-to. So I mean, the month of December we do, you know, so many packages, but the rest of the year is it's grown so much in the last few years too, as just a staple, you know, for any occasion, I would say, birthdays, sympathies. We have a lot of corporate gift giving too. People like to give their employees or customers. That's a really big one all year round. So it's great. It's so easy too. Right online, I give them to everybody.
You can buy pies too?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. Certain times of the year, you ship them
like
frozen.
Freeze-dried?
Yep.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Because the stuff freezes great. So then by the time it gets to you, it's good to go.
It's good to go.
Yeah.
Did it start because people like moved away and like asked if they could have it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think it's really hard to find a product that has, you know, you feel like you're giving something that I always say, I didn't have time to make it, but I feel really good about giving it. And so I feel like our philosophy is, you know, there's no preservatives, it's homemade, and it has the warm hug feel to it without you having to bake the cookies.
Yes.
So that's I feel like the big draw there.
The big draw.
Yeah.
I mentioned a little bit earlier how much I love going to Delicious Orchards. I think it does feel like an experience. It feels like a treat, but a treat that like is something that, you know, you like little spark, like I just posted this morning, like the joy list, like it's just kind of something that brings you joy, right? Like going and like seeing what you're gonna get. I love the peanut butter, like there's always like just staples that I pick up, and I love, like you said, that like, you know, that a lot of it's homemade, that like it just feels better for you. The produce obviously speaks for itself.
Yes, it does.
You have to
it does. It really does.
All of it. It makes such a big difference, you know, and when you're cooking and you just know that you're using like better ingredients that are more wholesome. So we're, you know, going to be doing a little bit together this fall and highlighting certain things within the store for moms to know about. If you don't know about, maybe, you know, you just moved here, or maybe you don't live, you know, too close to Cold Snack and are unfamiliar with Delicious Orchards. We'll be highlighting some of the you know, just the great stuff that you sell. So tell me, you mentioned the chicken cutlets. Like, what are some kind of go-tos like that you bring home for your family?
Let's see. All right, so we have. I love our bread. So there is something about, because like we don't have any preservatives in any of our products. So it is a staple in our house. The challah bread. Oh my gosh. Well, our cheese bread to make like a grilled cheese is to die for.
Oh my gosh.
We just started making, I brought you a sourdough bread. We just started making that. It's so good.
Sourdough is so popular
It
now.
is so good.
But it's good for you.
It is. That's what I go with.
Yeah.
I do the salmon a lot. Salmon has become in the air fryer like a weekly, because now the kids will eat salmon, and so I'm so excited. I know this is a big. Well, I would say 3 out of 4, which is a win for us.
Okay. The other one's having cereal.
Not kidding. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So, you know, really, we have the yin and the yang. It's all about balance in our house. I'm like a short order cook sometimes.
Yeah, same.
And so that's become a really easy weeknight meal because in the air fryer, it is easier than making than on pasta. It's so easy. So
I have one other for you. I don't know if you sell the Bacon's, the Japanese barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Do you sell
yes,
that?
we do.
Okay. So chicken.
Every variety.
Oh, you do? So I haven't tried any of the rest of them, but just the red one, like the main one.
Yep.
So it's boneless, skinless chicken thighs.
Yep.
Just douse it in it, throw it in the air fryer for at 400 for about 35 to 40 minutes, but like turn it every 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
White rice.
Okay.
If you're, or brown rice, whatever.
we do the basmati, so
Okay,
we're
it's
lower on the glycemic index.
Yeah, so I get that. Like I forget what brand it is, but like it's in the big. I think you guys sell
the
it.
Tex-Mex.
Yeah. That one's so good. So I get that, and then either edamame or broccoli, and then you put more of the sauce on it. It takes like 5 seconds to make.
Is it so good?
It is better than Chinese takeout.
Okay, that might be my meal tonight.
So
I will
good.
let you know later.
Oh my God.
Because I love chicken thighs.
Yes,
so
same.
Easy.
They're so easy.
I
never used to make them until maybe like a few years ago, and now I feel like at least once a week.
Yes.
They're in
in the rotation.
Because you just throw them in a bowl. I'll make these like ranch bowls with that or whatever with like avocado, and that's
smart.
like so good. But yeah,
okay.
So use that one.
I will get back to you.
Okay.
I'm really going to do that. I'm not kidding.
I want to see pictures.
I will send you a picture of my. Oh my gosh, and I love my rice. I have like a rice.
You have a rice cooker? Okay.
Highly recommend.
All right, I don't have one.
Okay, I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
Is it?
Because it's all started in college. My roommate was Korean. She was like, no, you're doing it all wrong. And so ever since then, I've had a rice cooker, and it really does change your life. Because then you just have to like set it and forget it. Okay. It makes it that much easier.
Yeah, because if you don't pay attention to the rice, it can easily go sour quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
It's so easy.
That's why I buy the one that's more expensive, because that's like harder to mess up.
It is.
But okay, good to know.
Yeah.
All right. And so the chicken cutlets, and then you have a lot of grab and go items.
We do, which are great. That saves me all the time too. We've really expanded that as well.
I know there's like mac and cheese over there.
Oh, the lasagna. Mac and cheese is good. Oh, my kids are obsessed with the string beans, like the garlic string beans. What else? The meatballs. See, like that's where, so I know somebody will want a meatball sub for dinner, and then somebody else will want like salmon for dinner. So then it's I do a lot of like
me too.
semi-homemade.
Yeah.
I am the queen of piecemealing it, where I've made 3 of the things, bought one of the things.
Yes.
Trying to do all of that.
I love to cook. It's actually, I'm reading more. You ever like hear this, well, I guess not a new movement, but about like moving meditation?
Yes.
And I'm not like I don't think anyway I'll ever be the person that can meditate. Like I'm just not framed that way, where I can like sit and just be, I don't think I could. Maybe I should. I don't know.
My brain is so busy.
Yes.
Like I need a fan on to like quiet this.
So I've learned that like running is actually like a form of moving meditation, and that's like, and I've done that forever, and it's kind of like where I always get my ideas from and my clarity and everything. But also like I love, like if you give me 3 hours like to be able to just like cook and have a glass of wine and make like a good lasagna or whatever, like I'll get these cookbooks from like famous chefs, and just there's this one called Family Table.
Yes.
So Family Table is, if you worked in like higher end restaurants, like we would always have family meal before. And so it's all these like collective recipes from like these like really cool restaurants over the years, and like their recipes, which is so I love this cookbook.
Oh, that's so
fun. And it's funny that like their family meal, which is like they just throw it together, but it does take like hours to make. like the lasagna is like steps, like seriously.
Like, you're not just whipping their
no. So I love that, but my husband appreciates it. My daughter like could not care less.
I know. Well, that's the hard part. Well, and I feel like this season, that's I feel like one of the things that I would love to do that. Mm-hmm. It's just not really happening.
It's not realistic.
It's not, especially too where I feel like you get home and then you're like whipping something up. Especially right now, I feel like we're all, and then like round 2 begins, like the second shift of like driving you there, picking you up, like where you need this, you need that, you have to go
the
here.
The
laundry, all the things. But it just doesn't happen as much as I want it to this season.
I know.
I do.
Yeah, it's funny, but we'll get to it, right? We will get to it.
We will.
So we'll be sharing some recipe ideas, I think, from Delicious Orchards, and just some some real survival tips, right? That
Yes.
you can kind of come in and grab and make your weeknight dinners easier, because
Absolutely.
I think we're all in need of that.
We are. And you want to feel
If you
good
like to
about
cook
it,
or
right?
not.
You want to feel good about what you're feeding your kids. And
Yes.
yes, I do think everything is balanced, but you want to feel like responsible that you're nourishing them in a really healthy way.
Yeah.
With being realistic about the time that you actually have, which I
Yes.
feel like for me has been a real growth, that I feel like just trying to figure it out.
Yes, I know. It's so hard. Okay, what does Delicious Orchards have coming up this fall? I know you said it's your busy season.
It is a busy season. So all of September and October, I feel like Monmouth County makes fall an event, which is great for us.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. The energy is so great. We will be doing sampling a lot of the weekends, and we have live music outside.
Oh, you do?
And
Oh,
it's
that's
just
fun.
always really great to sort of just come and hang out and get your apple cider slushy and
yes.
all
Or
the
head
things.
over to Source Brewery.
Yes,
too, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's just a great time of year for the community.
It is, and you have pumpkins outside. And
We
all
do.
That.
Yep. We have all the pumpkins
and
all
mums.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
The mums were there this weekend. I was like, oh no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
I
But
know.
Here they
the
are.
Summer came so quick. It went so quickly. So, but this, at least we get like all the holidays ahead of us. It'd be worse if it was like then just right into winter.
That is very
ahead,
true.
Right?
The bleakness. I know.
Yeah.
I really need the sunshine.
Yeah. Same. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
This was so nice.
This was great. I hope it's one of many.
Yes, we agreed. Thank you for sharing. You'll definitely be seeing more from Delicious Orchards and the Monmouth Moms. So stay tuned for everything we have planned.
Thank you.